Though hardships were many, Yoshi remained brave and true, and the ancestors smiled on him. Welcome to Raid of Story Legends with me, LeilaFox. Hey there, welcome to Raid Story Legends. I am LeilaFox. This is a weekly YouTube series where I share lore from some of our favorite champs from Raid Shadow Legends. Today's story is for Yoshi the Drunkard. Now, what's a lot fun about him is he is a brand new champion for the brand new Shadowkin faction that was just released in update 3.40. He also happens to be the St. Patrick's Day Fragment Fusion champ, and I can't wait to share his story with you. His story is a lot of fun, so let's check it out. Here is the story for Yoshi the Drunkard, and I hope you enjoy. Yoshi had always found soldiering to be a dull business. Not the fighting, nor the cracking of skulls. He did always love those. But the discipline, the subordination to some high and mighty noble, the reveal at ungodly hours were intolerable. No, Yoshi was never meant to be a soldier, yet a soldier he was, fighting for his homeland against the dreaded demon spawn. He was young back then and, despite all his grumbling, believed in the rebellion with all his heart. Though hardships were many, Yoshi remained brave and true, and the ancestors smiled on him. He lived to see the war through, celebrate the liberation of the Dawnlands, and enjoy the spoils of victory. For a few years, Yoshi traveled the realm, feasted until his pockets were empty, and started brawls for the sheer thrill of it. Ever the vagrant, Yoshi did not settle down even after his silver ran out. It was not until he found himself drunk, sleeping on a monastery porch on a cold spring night, that his fate took a turn for the better. Shadowkin monks were warriors all, dedicated to the study of martial arts in their many forms. So when an aggressive lout had disrupted their morning rites with demands of water and food to fill his belly, the response was as firm as one would expect. The fight was brief. It left Yoshi both impressed and humbled, which was a rare enough occurrence. Yet the monks, too, appreciated the raw talent they saw in that scuffle enough to offer the interloper a chance to join them. It was a chance Yoshi took, for few people could brag about giving him such a good thrashing. It was not all easy, of course. He was forced to learn discipline once again, center his spirit, and rein his baser instincts in. A prospect the Jolly Drunkard did not enjoy one bit. Fortunately, the skills he studied in the monastery were a fair trade-off for those inconveniences, and the monks fed him well. The years Yoshi spent there he still remembers with great fondness even today. But Wanderlust is a foe not so easily defeated, and Yoshi could not stay locked up in a cloister forever. He learned what he could, mastered his body, and finally bid farewell to his friends before venturing out into the world beyond the fortress walls. That same wanderlust drove Yoshi to join the first Shadowkin who left their kingdom's borders and traveled westwards to the other lands of Teleria, and many were their adventures along the way. From the endless dunes of Crocan, where Yoshi faced mighty barbarian heroes in single combat, to the great elven cities, he soon became the stuff of legend among the mercenaries and tavern goers. Yoshi remains an enigma to the outsiders, and their opinions tend to vary between awe and disgust. A man of strange origins, boisterous and joyful, yet quick to let his cudgel do the talking, is certainly not the easiest guest for the city watch to handle. Though the strange spirits Yoshi calls upon cause grave concern among the traditionalist high elves and knights of the Sacred Order, one thing is certain. Yoshi the Drunkard would rather renounce sake than raise his weapon in service of evil. That conviction, coupled with his uncanny skills, makes him a worthy ally to anyone seeking to keep Teleria safe from Serath. So this is the story for Yoshi the Drunkard, and I have to say, I think this story is probably one of the most fun stories I have shared. It has some humor. I think it's colorful. It starts out with Yoshi, so already we know that he's strong, he's loud. They flat out call him a drunkard. He likes to fight. He has no problem holding his opinion back, and he ends up coming across monks who, again, as we know, just through history, through legends, they don't put up with that. They put Yoshi in his place, and they both end up having a mutual respect for each other, where Yoshi decides to stay and learn, and he learns the skills of the monks. I consider that Yoshi is a brand new champ for Raid Shadow Legends. It's going to be fun to see what his character model and his attack abilities look like in the game. If they indeed are going to resemble something like you would expect a monk to have in a game or not, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And I think it's a lot of fun how in the end of this, they talk about how he would rather renounce Saki than raise his weapon in service of evil, which is hilarious. Again, it fits to the humor and the personality of a fun champ that we have like Yoshi. If you enjoyed this story, please consider subscribing, hitting the like, and leaving a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this story? Do you like that they kind of added a little bit more of a humorous twist to many of the lore stories I share, which tend to be much more sadder, I guess, right? Most of the lore stories I share tend to have very sad origins, where this one happens to have a little bit of just humor and color throughout. Also, make sure to check out the lore story for the Shadowkin faction. We're gonna have that up on the top right if you haven't done so already, because it helps to fit in nicely with this story for Yoshi. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to sharing my next Raid Story Legends with you.